Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. In this video, we will be covering some important topics and questions related to those topics of the MS-900 exam. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our other practice questions through the link down in the description. We here have more than 30 plus certifications and are here to help you achieve your certification goals. We will try to answer all of your doubts related to MS 900 exam, such as the exam does not have lab type questions, it does not have case study type questions either. The exam duration is around 120 minutes in which you have to answer 40 to 60 questions. The minimum passing score is 700 out of 1000. There is no negative marking in the exam. This exam will be valid for a lifetime after you earn it. About the exam renewal process, it is not required. This is a tutorial video for the MS 900 exam and contains some practice questions. These are the topics that we will be covering in this video. However, these are not all the topics that will come in the exam. As such, we will be publishing more parts to this series in the future. So, please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. To the first topic, Microsoft 365 for Enterprise. What is Microsoft 365 for Enterprise? It is a complete intelligent solution that empowers everyone to be creative and work together securely. Microsoft 365 for Enterprise is designed for large organizations, but it can also be used for medium sized and small businesses. And small businesses that need the most advanced security and productivity capabilities. Optimize your users' integrated and secure productivity with the best together combination of Microsoft 365 for Enterprise, Microsoft Surface devices, and the Microsoft Edge browser. This cross product integration provides a common identity and sign in security infrastructure, integrated local and cloud apps for search, collaboration, productivity, and compliance, comprehensive and integrated security for hardware, browser, local app, and cloud apps, a common infrastructure for IT management of installs and updates. In this image, you can see the best optimized environment for your organization with your Microsoft 365 subscription. Plans for Microsoft 365 Enterprise. It is available in three plans. First is E3, access the Microsoft 365 core products and features to securely enhance workplace productivity and drive innovation. Then we have E5, access the Microsoft 365 latest products and features. These include Defender for Office 365, security tools, and collaboration tools. This plan includes all E3 capabilities plus advanced security, voice, and data analysis tool. Then we have F3, connect with your first line workers through purpose built tools and resources that they can use to help them do their best work. If you have Microsoft 365 E3, you can also get these add ons. We have identity and threat protection, information protection and compliance, Microsoft 365 E5 compliance, and Microsoft 365 E5 insider risk. To the questions, question 1, you need to consider the following segment to establish whether it is accurate. You have been tasked with acquiring Microsoft 365 enterprise licenses for your organization. You should contact a cloud solution provider or subscribe to a Microsoft Enterprise agreement. Select no adjustment required if the segment is accurate. If the segment is inaccurate, select the accurate option. Which two options can you use? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Here, when acquiring a Microsoft 365 enterprise license, contacting a CSP or subscribing to a Microsoft Enterprise Agreement is indeed the accurate option. As such, the correct option is no adjustment required. Thus, the correct option is A. If you want to get Microsoft Enterprise Agreement, you have to contact a specialist. So you cannot do this with a credit card. Question 2. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you have been tasked with assigning Microsoft 365 licenses to users in a department where audio conferencing is not required. The department does, however, require Office desktop products to complete tasks. Which of the following is the license that would help you achieve this? In this question, we have to assign Microsoft 365 licenses. We don't need audio conferencing, however, we require Office desktop products to complete tasks. As such, the most appropriate option is Office 365 E3. Thus, the correct option is C. For Pro Plus, email apps are partially included. For E1, Office apps are partially included. So E3 is right. Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise does not provide Exchange Server, just Outlook. However, the question specifies that they only need desktop apps. No mention of needing to move to Exchange. For the question, the desktop app that is needed for email is Outlook. Question 3. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you are educating users on which component to use to register their personal home device with the company. Which of the following is the component that should be used? In this question, we need a component that can be used to register the personal home devices of the users with the company. Based on this requirement, the most appropriate component is enterprise mobility plus security. Thus, the correct option is B. Enterprise mobility plus security is a mobility management and security platform that includes services such as Azure AD, Microsoft Intune, Azure Information Protection, and Microsoft Advanced Threat Analytics. Question 4. Drag drop. You are implementing cloud services. Match each scenario to its service. To answer, drag the appropriate scenario from the column on the left to its cloud service on the right. Each scenario may be used once. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, the scenarios provided to us are Exchange Online integrated with on premises Skype for business server, custom web and mobile application securely connected to an on premises data store, server based workloads on a virtual machine connected to an on premises network. To the service, software as a service. Here, the correct option is Exchange Online integrated with on-premises Skype for Business server. To the next service, Platform as a Service. Here, the correct option is Custom web and mobile application securely connected to an on-premises data store. Then, to the next service, Infrastructure as a Service. Here, the correct option is service based workloads on a virtual machine connected to an on premises network. To the next topic, Intune. What is Intune? As organizations support hybrid and remote workforces, they are challenged with managing the different devices that access organization resources. Employees and students need to collaborate, work from anywhere, and securely access and connect to these resources. Admins need to protect organization data, manage end user access, and support users from wherever they work. To help with these challenges and tasks, use Microsoft Intune. It is a cloud based endpoint management solution. It manages user access to organizational resources and simplifies app and device management across your many devices, including mobile devices, desktop computers, and virtual endpoints. Steps to set up Intune. Firstly, we have to set up Intune, then add, configure, and protect apps. After that, we have to use compliance and conditional access, then configure device features and settings, and after that, we have to enroll our devices. To the questions, question 5. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you have been tasked with recommending a solution that prohibits users from copying corporate information from managed applications installed on unmanaged devices. Which of the following should you recommend? Here in this question, we want a solution that will prohibit users from copying corporate information from managed applications installed on unmanaged devices. Based on this requirement, the most appropriate option is Microsoft Intune. Thus, the correct option is B. Microsoft Intune is a cloud based service that focuses on mobile device management and mobile application management. You control how your organization's devices are used, including mobile phones, tablets, and laptops. You can also configure specific policies to control applications. For example, you can prevent emails from being sent to people outside your organization. Intune also allows people in your organization to use their personal devices for schools or work. On personal devices, Intune helps make sure your organization data stays protected and can isolate organization data from personal data. Question 6. You need to consider the following segment to establish whether it is accurate. You are a Microsoft 365 administrator for a company whose employees are allowed to access corporate information located in the cloud via their personal devices. You have been tasked with making sure that employees are prohibited from copying this information to their personal OneDrive folders. You should make use of Intune App Protection. Select No Adjustment Required if the segment is accurate. If the segment is inaccurate, select the accurate option. Here in this question, our requirement is to prohibit employees from copying information from the cloud to their personal OneDrive folders. And for this type of task, using Intune app protection is the correct option. As such, the correct option is no adjustment required. Thus, the correct option is A. A policy rule can be a rule that is being enforced when a user tries to access or move company data, or a set of actions that are prohibited or monitored when the user is in the app. A managed app is an app that has app protection policies applied and can be managed by Intune. Question 7. You are the desktop administrator for an organization. You need to ensure that Office 365 Pro Plus is installed on all employee computers. Which three tools can you use to deploy Office 365 Pro Plus? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Here, the three tools that we can use to deploy Office 365 Pro Plus on all employee computers are Microsoft Intune, System Center Configuration Manager, and Office Deployment Tool. Thus, the correct options are A, D, and E. Microsoft Intune allows you to deploy Office 365 Pro Plus application to Windows 10 devices from the cloud. System Center Configuration Manager allows you to deploy Office 365 Pro Plus to client computers from a local source using your Configuration Manager distribution points. The Office Deployment Tool allows you to deploy Office 365 Pro Plus to client computers from the Office Content Delivery Network or from a shared folder on your network. Question 8. Company has offices in multiple regions. The company has a Microsoft 365 subscription. The company is developing a line of business app. The app must meet the following requirements: ensure availability regardless of an employee's location, track the devices on which the app is installed by using Microsoft Cloud Services, and minimize costs. What should you do? Here in this question, company is developing a line of business app. It wants to ensure its availability regardless of the employee's location and track the devices on which the app is installed. Also, they want to minimize the costs. As such, the most appropriate option here is to deploy the app to all devices by using Microsoft Intune. Thus, the correct option is B. This is the only option that allows you to track the devices on which the app is installed on while ensuring the app is installed. This ticks all the boxes for the question. I mean, you could share the app using OneDrive or other means, but that will not ensure the install on the user's devices. Question 9. Hotspot. A company plans to deploy Microsoft Intune. Which type of apps can be managed by Intune? For each of the following statement, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, statement. Intune supports management of apps from third-party stores. Here, the correct answer is no, it does not. To the next statement, Intune supports volume licensing of iOS and Android store apps. Here, the correct option is yes, it does. To the next statement, Intune supports the management of line of business and public facing apps. Here, the correct option is yes, it does. A tricky thing about the first question is that you have to deploy the app from Intune in order to manage it. Of course, you can deploy apps from third party stores with Intune, but if a user installed it from the App Store directly, it is not a managed app for Intune. To the next topic, Microsoft Entra. What is Microsoft Entra and Entra ID? It is a family of identity and network access products. It enables organizations to implement a zero trust security strategy and create a trust fabric that verifies identities, validates access conditions, checks permissions, encrypts connection channels, and monitors for compromise. Microsoft Entra ID is a cloud based identity and access management service that your employees can use to access external resources. Example resources include Microsoft 365, the Azure portal, and thousands of other SaaS applications. Microsoft Entra ID also helps them access internal resources like apps on your corporate intranet and any cloud apps developed for your own organization. The Microsoft Entra product family covers four maturity stages of secure end to end access for any trustworthy identity. These stages include establishing zero trust access controls and securing access for employees, customers, partners, and any cloud environment. What is Microsoft Entra Privileged Identity Management? Privileged Identity Management or PIM is a service in Microsoft Entra ID that enables you to manage, control, and monitor access to important resources in your organization. These resources include resources in Microsoft Entra ID, Azure, and other Microsoft online services such as Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Intune. Reasons to use. Organizations want to minimize the number of people who have access to secure information or resources because that reduces the chance of a malicious actor getting access, an authorized user inadvertently impacting a sensitive resource. However, users still need to carry out privileged operations in Microsoft Entra ID, Azure, Microsoft 365, or SaaS apps. Organizations can give users just in time privileged access to Azure and Microsoft Entra resources and can oversee what those users are doing with their privileged access. To the questions, question 10. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you have been tasked with recommending a solution that forces cloud based applications to use the same credentials as on premises applications. Which of the following should you recommend? Here in this question, we want a solution with which same credentials can be used for both on premises and cloud based applications. As such, the most appropriate option here is Azure AD Connect. Thus, the correct option is A. Azure AD Connect is an on premises Microsoft application that is designed to meet and accomplish your hybrid identity goals. Question 11. Your company makes use of Microsoft 365 in their environment. You have been tasked with making sure that admin roles are protected. The feature you use should achieve this by requiring approvals. Which of the following is a feature you should use? Here in this question, we want to make sure that admin roles are protected, and this should be achieved by requiring approvals. As such, considering this requirement, the most appropriate option is Microsoft Azure AD Privilege Identity Protection. Thus, the correct option is C. Microsoft Azure AD Identity Protection is not a service, nor it is a product. It is a concept, therefore, there are no features that can be used. Azure AD Privileged Identity Management, which is a service, has a feature to configure admin accounts. Question 12. Your company makes use of Microsoft 365 in their environment. You have been tasked with making sure that members of the Global Administrators Group are protected. The feature you use should achieve this by making use of dynamic risk profiles. Which of the following is a feature you should use? Here in this question, we want to make sure that members of the global administrator groups are protected by using dynamic risk profiles. As such, the most appropriate option is Microsoft Azure AD conditional access. Thus, the correct option is D. We will enable conditional access policy and then select the user sign-in risk or login risk settings. Sign-in risk represents the probability that a given authentication request isn't authorized by the identity owner. Organizations with Azure AD Premium P2 licenses can create conditional access policies incorporating Azure AD identity protection sign-in risk detections. Question 13. Hotspot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, statement. You can secure web apps that are published through Azure AD application proxy by using multi-factor authentication in the cloud. Here, the correct option is yes. To the next statement, you can secure web apps that are published through Azure AD application proxy by using MFA server on premises. Here again, the correct option is yes. To the miscellaneous questions, question 14. Your company plans to acquire a Microsoft 365 subscription. One of the services included in the subscription is described as a cloud service that allows you to do the following: store and protect files, share files, make use of an app or web browser to access files from anywhere, restore files to an earlier date and time. Which of the following is the service being described above? Here in this question, we have to identify the service that can store and protect files, share files, make use of an app or web browser to access files, and restore files to an earlier date and time. Considering all these features, the most appropriate option here is Microsoft OneDrive for Business. Thus, the correct option is D. Absolutely not to be mixed with SharePoint Intra website, Microsoft OneDrive for Business. Question 15. Your company plans to acquire a Microsoft 365 subscription. One of the services included in the subscription is described as a private social network that can be used to effectively sort out support problems. It can also be used to collect feedback on projects and documents. Which of the following is the service being described above? Here in this question, we need to identify the service that can be used to sort out support problems and collect feedback. Based on this, the most appropriate option is Microsoft Yammer. Thus, the correct option is B. Here, the keyword is private social network. As such, the answer is Yammer. Question 16. Your company intends to deploy a number of Microsoft Surface devices that run Windows 10 using Windows Autopilot. You have been tasked with preparing the devices for the deployment by importing a CSV file via the Microsoft 365 Device Management Portal. Which of the following combinations of blades will help you achieve your goal? Here in this question, company intends to deploy a number of service devices that run Windows 10 using Autopilot, and we have to prepare the devices for the deployment by importing a CSV file via 365 Device Management Portal. As such, the most appropriate combination of blades to do this is the device enrollment and devices blade. Thus, the correct option is B. The navigation model in the Azure portal is built around the concept of blades. Blades are the visualization elements used to describe a resource or to display a form as part of a workflow. Blades open from left to right in a continuous manner, so you always know what your position in a flow is and can always go back. Question 17. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you have been tasked with recommending a solution that will allow users to make use of unsuited applications on their Windows 10 devices. Which of the following should you recommend? Here in this question, we have to find a solution that will make use that will allow users to use unsuited applications on their Windows 10 devices. Based on this requirement, the most appropriate option is Windows Virtual Desktop. As such, the correct option is D. Unsuited applications mean unsupported apps that you can run on a Windows Virtual Desktop where you can deploy older versions of Windows to avoid compatibility issues. Question 18. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. You have been tasked with removing customer information in compliance with General Data Protection Regulation after the customer generated data subject request. You want to make sure that legal holds are placed on relevant information if the opportunity arises. And you want to start searching for the client's information by using Content Search eDiscovery. Which of the following applications can be searched with this method? Here in this question, we have to remove customer information in compliance with GDPR after the customer generates TSR. And we have to make sure that illegal holds are placed on relevant information and start searching for the client's information using Content Search eDiscovery. Based on this method, we can search in Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft SharePoint Online. Thus, the correct option is B and D. You can use the Content Search eDiscovery tool in the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center to search for in place content such as email documents and instant messaging conversations in your organization. Use this tool to search for content in these cloud-based 365 data sources. Exchange online mailboxes, SharePoint online sites, and OneDrive for business accounts, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 groups, and Yammer groups. Question 19. You have been tasked with configuring a data governance strategy that allows for data classification. It should also allow for these classifications to be enforced. Which of the following should form part of your strategy? Here in this question, we are configuring a data governance strategy that allows for data classification and also allows for these classifications to be enforced. Based on this, the options that should be part of our strategy are publish labels and apply retention policies. Thus, the correct options are B and E. Publishing labels to clearly communicate the type of data and level of protection required, and applying retention policies to manage the life cycle of data, including when to delete or archive it, should be part of the data governance strategy, as it promotes awareness, accountability, and reduces risk of data breaches while adhering to regulatory requirements. Question 20. Your company has a Microsoft Office 365 subscription. As an administrator for this subscription, you are required to configure the use of a cloud security feature that allows for emails and documents to be classified and labeled. Which of the following is the feature you should use? Here in this question, we have to configure a cloud security feature that will let us classify and label email and documents. Based on this, the most appropriate answer is Microsoft Azure Information Protection. Thus, the correct option is A. These were all the questions for this video. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our other practice questions through the link down in the description. Please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.